If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Avenues of revenue is in our hand. If you go after money, you're heading towards disaster.
Very warm welcome to another informative update of Rise Up. In this episode, we speak to you about financial discipline, and to do so, we have the Financial Director of ATG Group of Companies, Mr. Sudath Fernando. Very warm welcome to the show.
Hello, Arshad. Thank you very much for inviting me.
All right, the first question, what is financial discipline?
Good question, Arshad. When you talk about discipline, most of the people think that it is a trait that relates to social behaviors. So when you talk about social behaviors, there are some accepted standard norms and admonitions. So when you follow that, you say that he is a disciplined person. This is very important to manage your money as well. So when you talk about your spending and your savings, you have to see whether you save your money to properly achieve your financial objectives in your life. So it's a very important aspect because I saw a beautiful proverb that says, whoever neglects discipline comes to poverty and disgrace. So this is true, no? If you neglect your financial discipline, you will become poor. And this is very important for sustainability, even in personal perspective, your family and sustainability of your company, maybe big or small, you need to have that discipline. And last, you need to have financial discipline as a country as a whole, a very important aspect, Arshad.
Now, when you say financial discipline, it is a broad area. Let's break it down to simple terms. What can you do in your day-to-day activities to maintain that financial discipline? What are the steps?
Arshad, it's very important to record your income and your expenditure. Maybe in businesses you may do, but when it comes to personal perspective, most of the people neglect this. Even I, of course, sometimes neglected that. I'll come to that later. And it's very important, especially we have dreams. I always mention in the threefold code, the first code is you and your dream. So we have short-term and long-term dreams. So it's very important to look into the financial aspect of your dream. So if you want to achieve something, maybe short-term or long-term, you need to take that into a paper, look into the financial aspect of that. Very important. Then we know how we are going to have your income and how you spend and what kind of savings that you have to achieve the dreams. So when you take that, it's called a budget. So it's very important to prepare a budget, even in personal perspective. If you are personally, you need to prepare a budget. So when you have a budget, what you can do is, every day, you need to keep a record whether I'm achieving the budget, whether I'm complying to the budget, or whether I'm increasing or decreasing, or you have a deficit. So in that scenario, you can adjust accordingly. So it's very important. Daily, you have to write your spendings. You know your income is this, and spendings accordingly you have to write. Then you know where you are heading. So either weekly or monthly, you can check whether I'm in accordance with my budget.
All right, so what if we don't do?
Arshad, there's a famous saying by Benjamin Franklin. He said, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. You must have heard that. It's a very famous saying. So the simple answer is, if you fail to plan yourself, if you fail to have your financial discipline in proper, you're planning for your destruction.
So there's a common reference we've heard that it's important to learn how to spend even more than that you learn how to earn.
There are so many things which will force you to go for impulsive purchase. Maybe some very nice advertisements. So there are a lot of credit offers. Credit card is a killer, I should say. I'm not insulting anyone, but it's credit card. When you have a credit card, you tend to buy. And consumable loans. So all sort of things are there for people to go for impulsive purchase. So you have to be very careful. So you tend to spend because you are going to pay later. So in that scenario, you have to look into your spending carefully. I found another beautiful article in one of the Watchtower magazines. I would like to read that for you. Undisciplined spending can also lead to financial ruin. Some people feel that they have to look like people in the latest fashion magazines, take expensive vacations, eat out at fancy restaurants, and buy the latest adult toys, that is recreation vehicles, boats, cameras, stereo equipment. Of course, in time, some may be able to have these things through shrewd planning and saving. Yet, those who are in a hurry to have them may find themselves heavily in debt. If they do, whose fault is it? Obviously, they have ignored the sound advice given in one of Proverbs. That is, the one neglect in discipline comes to poverty and dishonor. So Arshad, so it's very important. This world offers so many things, but we need to carefully plan out our spending. That is why financial discipline is very important. But if you have a proper budget and if you compare weekly, then you know, okay, come on, I'm making a mistake. I have made a mistake, so I have to rectify soon. So you have that kind of discipline within you. So it's very important. When you have financial discipline, when you have your budgets in proper, because budget is a main tool in financial discipline, you can succeed.
So when we speak about personal finances and financial planning, there is a component, even you mentioned briefly about it, credit cards and loans. So what is your general opinion about loans and obtaining loans?
Taking a loan is a huge responsibility, I must tell you. I can see most of the people, they take for the sake of taking loans. They don't understand the gravity of it, and that's a huge responsibility. But you have to repay it. Most of the people don't think about the repayment. For the sake of taking, they take. Because sometimes financial institutions, maybe banks, they offer loans, credit cards. They just take it. But I must tell you frankly, if you don't have a proper feasible budgetary plan, then you know your repayment plan. If you don't know that, don't take a loan at all. Don't think of taking a credit card at all. But it's not happening in real life. But when you look at people who are struggling financially, not only people, a single person, a family, a business, big or small, or country at large, we know those experiences. They struggle because of taking loans haphazardly without a proper feasible budgetary plan. So what my advice is, in personal life, if you don't see a proper feasible plan for repayment, don't take loans.
So as a growth channel, we lay strong emphasis on sustainable development and staying true to values and having a set of strong values always and often makes an individual live disciplined, and in the same lines it is easy for us to navigate in this world full of unlimited needs and wants. So going down that line, I would like to ask you, what is the wisest financial advice that you have received and that has stuck with you, that has helped you navigate in the face of unlimited needs and wants?
Arshad, another interesting question. I love that question anyway. I must tell you, I mean, in this world, you know, when we live, your spending rise up, because sometimes the cost of living you can't control. Cost of living rise maybe because of social, economic, and maybe environmental reasons. So that is something beyond our control. And at the same time, do your income go up? It's not. But Bill Gates once said, if you are born as a poor person, that's not your mistake. But if you die as a poor person, that is your mistake. So Arshad, so I know that cost of living goes up, you can't control. But avenues of revenue is in our hand. So there are so many avenues. If you really have a burning desire, instinct desire to find different avenues, you can find. Even in a hard situation, you can find. That's a matter of having a passion, a burning desire. But in my life, the most wisest advice I received from scriptures, holy scriptures. That is, money, you require money for you to have a good life, for you to do day-to-day needs. But if you go after money, right, sacrificing your leisure time with your family, sacrificing your spiritual needs, if you go after money, you're heading towards disaster. It's kind of a snare. So I know money is required, but you need to have the love component, that is the godly quality, to find true happiness and contentment.
Beautifully put, and thank you very much for joining in and sharing those valuable thoughts. And I am pretty sure that our viewers have got an insightful update as to how not only to think about in capitalizing or building up on the avenues of income, but also taking good care and taking into good account the ways that they spend their hard-earned money and how to be disciplined in terms of spending the hard-earned money. So with that being said, we hope that you will share your comments and thoughts about how to be financially disciplined, and that is it from this episode of Rise Up. Thank you very much for sharing those wise and insightful updates with us.
Thank you very much, Arshad. Thanks a lot.